here in the workshop of Geoffrey Noden, the inventor of the famed Adjust-A-Bench. And Geoffrey has a new contribution to the woodworking world coming on to the market pretty soon. And we thought we'd give you a little heads up kind of a view of what's going on here. So can you tell us a little bit about your new invention? What's it called?
It's called the Noden Inlay Razor. And it is going to change the face of your woodwork.
How so?
Well, it makes it extremely easy to make an endless variety of inlay, which can be simple, or you can get real crazy with it. Starting with the fact that you make your own blades, and you're making them using razor blades.
Cool.
So, as I told one gentleman at the show, that your woodworking projects will start at the drugstore, and he said, well, that's where a lot of mine end up. Razor blades that you get at the drugstore are 4/1000ths of an inch thick, so not only are they very sharp, but they're also incredibly flexible.
Cool.
So you can make your, right now I'm using a blade that has an S shape. With the Noden Inlay Razor you get 4 blades to get you going, but the fact is you can make your own. And that means that you can give them the shape you want, within reason. I mean, you can't fold them like a piece of paper, but you can really make some cool shapes. And then when you put them in this tool, which is the key to this is a process we're talking about. Okay, and I think that as a woodworker, I do think I'm going to be making a contribution.
Cool. Well, you say it comes with 4 blades.
4 blades. One is a straight blade. One is an S-shaped blade like I'm using now. And then what I call a cornered blade, which is like has a bend in it.
Cool.
And then the last one is an arched blade, just one curve. But really,
you can make any shape you want.
It's so you can take it out of the box and make fantastic inlay, you know, within an hour.
And so what comes with the razor is the machine plus 4
blades and
a video on how to actually make more blades and how to use the machine.
Exactly. So you know, you need a table saw to prepare your stock and to cut your groove. But if you're a woodworker without a table saw, then you're a turner. I'm telling you, this is going to be so cool. I know from people's reaction at shows.
Great.
That this is going to.
So, and for all of that stuff you get, what's going to be the retail price of this?
It's going to be less than $250, but boy, show specials, summer sale, $199. Okay, and we're also going to do a low introductory thing, $199. So, which is almost an impulse buy, I would say. I made this originally because of my own need. I had an order for 10 chairs, archtop chairs, and the customers ordered from a chair that I had done I'd made one that had a ring of inlay. By the way, this will do straight line inlay and circular inlay. These required circular inlay. Now the chair they had ordered from had 180 pieces of wood in it that I had to cut. They were all exactly the same, and I cut them by hand. So I set out to come up with a better way to cut those pieces of wood. By the time I was done, every chair had a different inlay. But we're probably talking mostly to people who just love to do woodwork. And I'm telling you, this is fun. People say, you must be very patient. I say, when did you ever say, gee, I'd like to have fun today, but I don't think I have the patience? You know, what? I mean, this is an easy one. You could do this all day. I don't know if you can see that.
They sure can.
But it's, I say it's using one setup. Now, one setup would mean one blade.
One angle.
One angle. I mean, I can take this.
Now, in that set that you're sending out, does it come with this?
No, this is
something you make.
This is something you make when you cut the dado that you're going to lay the wood into. Before you break down that setup, you're going to cut another dado in ideally a piece of softwood. The softwood is much easier on the blades, so at the same time you cut this groove, you cut one for this. And the groove can be any width. Obviously, you're limited by the length of the razor blades. And I'll tell you what, for most things, the length of a razor blade is fine. Change your angle, and now, of course, the blade is hitting my groove at a different angle. So that will...
You're using more of the blade then.
You're using more of the blade. So, you know, but it's still fine.
And it looks like you've got some ebony and
Pal Amarillo. The black wood is not ebony. It's trying to be ebony. It's cherry, black cherry, local wood, but it has been soaked in a solution of steel wool and vinegar. Something I haven't mentioned, and it helps with this process. We're cutting end grain. That is absolutely key. You know, we're using razor blades 4/1000ths of an inch thick. So there's no way you're going to cut across the fibers of wood. We all know about wood and how it's very strong in one direction and actually extremely weak in the other. Anyway, well here I'm taking this disadvantage of the weakness, I'm using it to my advantage in that we're splitting the wood rather than cutting it. And because it's end grain, that solution penetrates completely these 16th inch thick wafers and it becomes a solid black wood. And we no longer have to pillage and plunder the African savannas like a bunch of lost pirates. Cherry is it. And that'll work with walnut. I'm sure it will work with oak, any wood that's high in tannic acid.
You've given us a pretty good idea of what the razor is and how it functions.
All right, Chuck, so I'm using my S-shaped blade to cut my blackened cherry and a wood that I like, though it's not a local wood, I'm sorry to say. It's Pal Amarillo. It stays nice and yellow. And let me say something else, is that we're using end grain, which makes this process work, right? But I also want to point out that, you know, think of any piece of furniture or any piece of woodwork for that matter, and probably 99% of what you're seeing is side grain. There's no end grain. So I think it's kind of cool that this inlay, which exists only to be looked at, its only function is to be pretty. I think it's kind of cool that it is a different view of wood.
Right.
I like that fact.
Now we can see right here you're actually assembling the various pieces. Now when you go to put this together, exactly how do you fasten that?
How do I do that?
Down?
I will, I use an epoxy because you can choose a very slow setting hardener. And because of that, I have plenty of time to assemble this.
Well, the other great thing is the epoxy is going to penetrate all of that end grain, and because that way if you stain your piece, it's not going to modify the color of the inlay.
That may be. I don't know. You know what? I really don't know that. I'm not sure.
When I get my razor at home and I really start to play with it, I'll let you know how it works. Now in the kit, you're going to give them a source of supply for all of that stuff? Or
on the website, I hope to give people videos, not just of this tool and how to use it, but also things that have inlay in them, show people how to make them. So they go to the website, they tell their friends, hey, I saw how to make this frame, which is pretty nice. Why don't you go see that? And then when they're there, of course, everything is going to have inlay. I say, if two pieces of wood fitting beautifully, perfectly together is the mark of craftsmanship, then this tool makes you a craftsman immediately. Now, I hope you've got shots of my samples.
I think so.
Some of those get crazy.
And you say it's going to be on the market in the next couple of weeks?
It's made in the USA.
Cool.
Made in New Jersey.
That's not the USA, that's New Jersey.
Okay, New Jersey, yep.
So
this is going to be, the website went live last night.
Give me the address.
The URL is inlayrazor.com. And I'm so excited about getting this into the hands of fellow woodworkers because I think they're going to love it.